Hello, and welcome to Synology Cloud Engage 2022. Data infrastructure and storage are at the heart of all modern businesses. When Synology entered the public cloud market with Synology C2, one of our long-term goals was to provide business users with more options for their data storage strategy and remove some of the limitations that came with traditional storage solutions. So with that in mind, we're going to discuss how hybrid share through C2 storage and C2 object storage can help you build a modern IT infrastructure for your data. According to IDC reports, the volume of business data generated annually is expected to grow at a rate of 42%. All of this data needs to be managed. Today we want to spotlight our on-premises, hybrid, and cloud-based data management solutions for different use cases, starting with file sharing and syncing between Synology file servers, and also presenting how our new object storage platform can help you store unstructured data at scale. For businesses with multiple locations that use Synology storage systems, hybrid share can be a great multi-site file sharing and syncing solution. Traditionally, when organizations set up on-premise file sharing and syncing solutions at different branches, they often face challenges such as lack of storage space and bandwidth, limited options to flexibly expand or adjust storage size, and no way to centrally manage user roles and privileges across the organization. But with hybrid share, C2 Cloud Storage becomes the hub for all data syncing and sharing between locations and offloads bandwidth and resource use to the cloud when connecting to Synology NAS servers across branches. And by combining hybrid share with C2 Identity, Synology's C2 Cloud Hosted Directory and Identity solution, you can centrally manage user privileges and access to servers across all locations, ensuring sound, organization-wide security by making sure only authorized personnel can access files wherever they are stored. Hybrid share also gives your business the flexibility to grow, delivering quick and easy file syncing across new offices and scaling your storage as your organization expands. On top of that, Synology C2 ensures high availability thanks to redundant data center architecture and solid data security thanks to client-side end-to-end encryption, making data unreadable for outside actors and even Synology. Overall, Synology provides a reliable and secure file synchronization solution that provides bandwidth and resource savings, safe access, easy scalability, and top-notch security. Here is a short demo to show you how easy it is to share documents across offices or branches. Here we have a NAS server from our Synology US office. Let's share some marketing documents stored in the local storage with the HQ team in Taiwan. To share the documents through hybrid share, we will launch FileStation and search for C2 marketing documents. Once I have found them, I will copy these files to the hybrid share folder indicated by the cloud icon. You can put any files in this folder and upload to the cloud. Now we need to check if the HQ team has received the files. To create a hybrid share folder, go to the control panel, Shared Folder, and click Create and Mount Hybrid Share Folder. A wizard will then walk you through how to set one up with your C2 account. Let's head back to FileStation and select the hybrid share folder. And it's a success. All the files are in the hybrid share folder with cloud icons on the side, indicating that the files are stored on C2 storage. If those files will be accessed regularly, you can pin them to the local cache for quicker access. The file will then have a green check mark on the side. This helps us save bandwidth as we can control how much storage we want to keep locally. To manage access control to the local shared folder, simply go to the control panel, select the folder, and click Edit. Click on Advanced Permissions tab, and tick Enable Advanced Share Permissions. Other than limiting the local employee's access to the shared folder, say we want to share the documents across the sales team within the organization. By synchronizing directory information from the C2 Identity server, the sales team will then be able to authenticate user access via LDAP to the local share folder with their existing credentials, as long as the NAS servers are added as an edge server on C2 Identity. Now let's move on to data generated externally. Companies that collect data from, for example, manufacturing plants, SaaS and web apps, IoT devices, or any other capacity-intensive workloads require a robust and high-performance storage infrastructure that scales easily. Growing demand for object storage among businesses of all sizes inspired us to add C2 Object Storage under the Synology C2 umbrella. With this service, we are serving a broader clientele who have the IT resources to develop archival, backup, or service solutions, or wish to establish back-end storage for externally generated data. Some practical use cases that are achievable with Synology Object Storage include building a data lake, delivering web assets, hosting media, setting up and running cloud applications, or backing up, restoring, and archiving data. Synology's C2 Object Storage offers a simple, scalable, and affordable solution that is compatible with Amazon S3 API. After creating a C2 Object Storage bucket on the C2 Object Storage File Explorer, you can view the data that is uploaded manually or through Automation API from your local server or cloud environment. You may establish a data lake for data ETL processes, a backup or archiving destination, or a storage backend for your cloud apps. On the flip side, you can stream data from C2 Object Storage in a continuous and incremental manner for applications such as real-time data monitoring and tracking for manufacturing, business analytics, web and video hosting for social media or streaming services, or in this case, simply streaming data back to the local NAS server for other uses. Compared with other object storage providers, we've designed Synology Object Storage to feature more transparent pricing that makes it easy to calculate your total expenditure. Object storage providers often charge users separate fees for storage usage, retrieval, API requests, data deletion, and more. Calculating costs within these models can get complicated, given the difficulty of predicting your traffic and number of API requests. Compared to other providers, pricing for C2 Object Storage couldn't get any simpler. Synology Object Storage only charges users for their storage use and downloads at prices significantly lower than alternatives on the market. With no API requests and data deletion fees, the total annual cost of C2 Object Storage is significantly lower than alternatives for common use cases. To recap, Hybrid Share allows organizations to establish a robust hybrid infrastructure for file sharing between locations that is both reliable and flexible. C2 Object Storage offers businesses a cost-effective and high-performance object storage infrastructure solution for high-capacity workloads that require versatile back-end storage. In addition, Hybrid Share and C2 Object Storage support bidirectional syncing between the two solutions. This means organizations can leverage C2 Object Storage to sync data with S3 compatible tools and applications while performing operations on local copies of the same data in Hybrid Share without directly impacting the data stored on C2 Object Storage. To ensure the security of all data stored on C2 Storage for Hybrid Share and C2 Object Storage, Synology employs server-side encryption as well as optional client-side encryption through private keys that never leave the devices on which they are created. In addition, Synology C2 data centers offer exceptional data durability, guaranteeing that your data remains available and intact over long periods of time. Finally, Synology C2 will exclusively keep your data in the data center that you select. And with locations across the US, Germany, and Taiwan, you can choose the jurisdiction that you trust or that local rules require. Starting at just $69.99 a year for 1 terabyte, Hybrid Share offers businesses that use Synology storage servers an alternative way to sync and share files between file servers at different branches or locations. File uploads, restoration, browsing, and syncing are always free of charge, whether you access your data through Synology NAS, desktop clients, the C2 Storage web portal, or using the Synology Hybrid Share download tool. C2 Object Storage also starts at just $69.99 a year for 1 terabyte of storage space without additional transfer fees. For traffic that exceeds our fair use threshold, such as repeated downloads of your data for streaming or web asset hosting purposes, C2 Object Storage charges a competitive 1 cent per gigabyte, a much lower rate than offered by Amazon Web Services, Azure, or Google Cloud Platform. With hybrid share and C2 Object Storage, we help organizations of all sizes build modern and efficient IT infrastructure. And by choosing Synology C2, you can rest assured that your digital assets are in safe hands.